Good morning, everybody. How are we? Oh, come on, kids. They're my sheep in the background asking for food like they don't eat enough. Anyway, we're out in our orchard here. We've had it cleaned up a little bit. You can see all these garden beds here, the rows that we've created. If you've been following us, you would have seen us building this from scratch. Now, these trees in particular that you're seeing that I'm standing next to, these were planted, if I'm not mistaken, around August, late August last year. So what is it now, December the 3rd? It's a year and a bit old, a year and 3 months old. So they really haven't done, well, they haven't been in the ground long enough to do much, but have a look at this, eh? What do you reckon? Now, honestly, folks, I mean, a young tree, you'd say you pull the fruit off to put the energy back in the growth of the tree. But the truth is, I'm in no rush. I mean, I want them to grow, but I'm in no rush to have these all jumping out of the ground at once. There's over 250 trees. So that's the difference between pulling it off and making it grow fast, or leaving it on and enjoying it and showing off. Now, these are little apples. There's one of every kind here, but more importantly, it's the mulching. Now, there are weeds still. We've brush cut all this down, but we've still got weeds in the garden bed here, right? So we're going to have to spray that. We're not going to leave it like this. We're going to get rid of it, but I was just mentioning it to my better half. Well, she's not here now, but I was earlier. And I said that we're going to make these garden beds a lot wider. And she posed a question to me, why would you do that? Why didn't you just do it straight away? Now, the reason why I didn't do it straight away is because A, the trees are small, right? Underneath here, we've added lots and lots of mushroom compost. I mean, there's grass growing in here too and all that. That's all going to come out. But if you look underneath, have a look how moist this is, right? I've shown you this before. I still haven't watered. It's rained once or twice. It's sticking to my fingers. That's how wet it is. So I don't have to water. Now, if I was to actually apply twice as much, meaning building it up like that and twice as wide, I'd actually suffocate the trees. They'd drown. They'd suffocate. The microbes wouldn't be as active. You needed to build up slowly. So each year, if you've got a small garden bed and you're going to make it bigger, or if you've got a row of trees that you want to grow and establish them, feed them a little bit each year. So come back at the end of this season, I suppose, or at the end of winter. Let's put it that way. I think that's about the best time. Yeah, put some more compost down, widen it up. And that way your trees actually grow with you organically, naturally, as you grow the garden bed. Yeah, the weeds will grow through, but you can brush cut them, you can spray a natural based herbicide, that's easy. But more no, stop talking about that, Let's talk about the trees. 1.5-year-old tree and it's loaded with apples. You can feed them out if you like, take them all off, every second one. What do they say, knuckle width apart from one apple to the other, so you can get nice big apples. Well, I kind of like them bite-sized. That's just my preference, that's how I am. There's no harm to the tree done at all. It means the fruit's going to be smaller if it's a small tree like this. And what makes them grow that good? I'll give you one guess. Do you get it? Black Grit, Liquid Gold and Eco Boost. Mushroom compost, mulch, Black Grit, Eco Gold, Liquid Gold and Eco Boost. I'm getting it wrong now too. And it's not just here, have a look, come along. Another one here, young tree, loaded. Another one here, have a look at this. Apples all over it again. It's not just apples, we've got pears, we've got plums, we've got quince. There's a quince down there. Had some friends come over earlier today saying they've got a 4-year-old quince tree and it just won't keep its fruit. It keeps dropping them and it makes very few flowers. There's a quince down here somewhere. It's probably got about a dozen fruit on it. It's only a year old. Have a look at this. I think I put too much Black Grit on it, to be honest with you. I put about a shovel on each one. And if you haven't tried Black Grit, go to our website, check it all out, vasilisgarden.com. There's plenty of great specials. It's still buy one, get one free. We're going to keep running it, I think, till the 10th of December or something like that. You can't go wrong, honestly, you can't go wrong. For your vegetables, for your tomatoes, for your flowering plants, anybody who used it, send me a message, share it with everybody else. We'd love to hear your feedback on it. Quince, have a look at these quinces. You know, they're only small, okay, it's a decent sized tree. But there's what? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 quinces for a young tree. It's a weed, it grows fast, we know all that. That's fine, but to be able to get fruit to come on it that easily, that early, and there's no watering here involved. Mulching, I did in winter. I put the Black Grit down, I liquid fed them once, irrigation's running underneath, hasn't been turned on once. We get the rain and you know the mulch will keep the moisture in. So it's not just about fruit trees, it's about your veggie garden too, it's about your flowering beds. You love your garden, look after it, keep it simple. I don't get around to every part of my garden here because it's just way too big for me, but I make sure that I get there in time to make sure the trees don't suffer. And what we're going to do here as well, so as far as them not suffering, is during the heat of summertime, is take the tops off. So we're going to do a summer prune and talk about thinning out the trees and opening up that vase shape that we need to get in them. Get yourself some nice secateurs like this and be prepared for it, because we're going to do some summer pruning so your trees can actually produce more fruit next springtime rather than growth. Just like the apple trees we got in our courtyard. Now they're loaded. There's at least 400 or 500 apples on each one of them, black grit. Now stay tuned, because Andrew Kent is going to be joining us soon to do an interview with him about waterback and black grit, the scientist behind it all, who'll be able to explain exactly how those products work and the benefits of them, having them in your garden, how to use them, and look at the results speak for themselves. But the science behind it, we're going to share it with you to answer all those questions we've been getting from me, Vasily Maresi. Don't forget VasilisGarden.com for all your great products.